For the last 3 years, one man has dominated the world of lacrosse with his individual ability. Casey Powell, number 22, like number 22s before him, Charlie Lockwood and Gary Gate, has electrified the offense for the Syracuse Orangemen and has propelled this team into yet another semifinal matchup for Syracuse. Their offense is feared and the crowd loves to cheer on the run and gun style. But today, they will be matched up against a team that knows how to be patient and knows how to win close games. Maryland last week against Virginia used a last-second shot by Hahn to take their team into a semifinals as an unseeded team and an underdog against the Orangemen. At Bird Stadium, about 30,000 folks are pouring into this arena to watch the NCAA's semifinal matchup, the best of Division I lacrosse. The Maryland Terrapins, the unseeded Maryland team, taking on the number 3 seed Syracuse Orangemen here at Bird Stadium in College Park. It's a great day here. The weather's perfect. I'm Lee Felsmo bringing you the play-by-play along with 4-time All-American Quint Kesenick. This matchup is very interesting, Quint. Each team knows what they have to do.
Yeah, it's a contrast in style. Syracuse, they want to run and gun. They want to get the ball to Casey Powell. And Maryland, they want to play tight defense, control the ball on offense. They don't make many mistakes.
You look at the Orangemen from Syracuse. You talk about offense led by Casey Powell. Look at the numbers on their attack unit.
Yeah, the Orange Crush, they've got 3 players who really stand out as far as their offensive production is concerned. Kavovit, Carcaterra, and Powell. Kavovit has really stepped up big in NCAA games. Last year against Princeton, he's got over 30 points in NCAA games. And Carcaterra, a legitimate threat from 15 or more yards with that left-handed cannon. And Casey Powell, he can take over a game single-handedly. He's got charisma. He's the most feared player in Division I lacrosse.
Of course, when you talk about the Maryland Terrapins, you talk about a team that wants to control the ball. They took a lot of time off the clock against the Virginia team, who had a great offense as well, just like Syracuse. They did it by really managing their offense well, waiting for the great shots, taking shots that were high and wide, taking a lot of minutes off of the scoreboard. That's what they'll have to do today if they want to beat this Syracuse team.
Yeah, they've got to make some saves, win some faceoffs, and possess the ball, make Syracuse make some mistakes defensively, and then capitalize.
You know, the big matchup today, the Nike face-to-face, is going to be Dave LaChapelle, the best defenseman from Maryland, against all-world Casey Powell.
Oh, you got to love it. This is a prime-time matchup, the best versus the best. That's why people pay to see these games. I'm really excited to see these two duke it out.
And, of course, Dickie Dell knows how important it is. He says that's exactly why you come to these games.
Well, isn't that what you want championship or semifinal or playoff games to be? The best against the best. And Casey's the best offensive player in the game. We think David's as good as any defensive player in the game. You know, we had the Schmeiser Award winner here, the Defenseman of the Year in '95, and you know, both of these kids succeed in doing the same thing, stopping the player that they're matched up against. It's just that when Radar did it, there's blood everywhere, and it's an ugly scene. When this David operates on you, and it's blood-free, you know, but you don't have the ball.
So Maryland knows what they have to do. Syracuse wants to crank up the shots. Maryland wants to be very cautious. When we come back, we'll have our second semifinal, Maryland against Syracuse. Welcome back to Bird Stadium. The place is packed. We anticipate the announcement in this game of a record crowd. We're looking at probably 32,000, which would be a record by a couple thousand at least. Lee Felsmo, Quint Kesenick at Bird Stadium in College Park, Maryland. It's our second semifinal matchup. This one pits Syracuse against the Maryland Terrapins. Syracuse comes in as the number 3 team, and the 3 seed rather, and an unseeded Maryland team. The legends in this sport, Roy Simmons and Dickie Dell, the 2 most active coaches in the NCAA playoffs.
Roy Simmons, 27-year head coach at Syracuse. His father coached there from 1931 to the present. It's been the Simmons family, and Coach Adell searching for his first national title in lacrosse.
17 trips for Roy Simmons, 14 for Dickie Dell to these NCAAs. Our first face-off will find Haggerty from Maryland. We've got an illegal procedure against number 26, Haggerty, who woke up with a little sore throat. He may be under the weather. He faced off at that time against number 12 for Syracuse. That was Tim Burns, the freshman. Something to watch will be the face-offs because Maryland needs to control.
It's going to be a huge matchup. Burns has improved his game as the season has developed. Look at the series history. Maryland leads 7-5. The 1995 championship played here 2 years ago. Syracuse victorious in that game. It was a close game early, late stages of the second quarter. Syracuse pulled away.
Radin gets the ball from Maryland from LaChapelle as Syracuse does not take advantage of that face-off technicality off of Haggerty, and now it'll be Whipple, number 1. He's the control man, the quarterback for Maryland, and he gives it out to Evans. Evans is an All-American from the midfield. Hasn't had huge numbers this year. Is getting a lot of attention from the long stick. You see them on him right now as they start their patient offense.
They love to spread it out. They like to isolate against the short sticks. They find the matchup. They've got some quick midfielders. Radin and Evans, look for those two to penetrate.
This is Evans right now with Pasqualina setting a pick early. He's going hard, working in close. He's got a shot on Gebhardt. And look at the big save. Gebhardt's a nice-looking goalie that really helps this young defense. Trying to get back into Evans, cannot get it. Gebhardt wants a piece of the ball, finally gets it. So the weak spot for Syracuse may be the defense, and Gebhardt saved him right there. As they bring it up, watch the running gun. Syracuse Orangemen. First shot on Keenan, and they get a goal. Didn't take long for Matt Alexander, number 30, to bring it up and just burn it by Keenan. He didn't have any help from the defense, who was caught with some numbers. It was 4-on-3, and he just came right in.
Oh, Gebhardt made the nice outlet pass, and then Alexander steps up. Maryland slow to slide. They give him that 12-yard shot, and he beats Keenan to the near side low. Keenan's a lefty. He beat him stick side low.
That'll be the philosophy for Maryland. They're going to try to keep away the tight shots and make them shoot from outside.
Exactly. It's you know, pick your poison. Would you rather have Alexander take that shot from 12 or Casey Powell from 3 or 4 yards?
That was their philosophy.
Doubt you want Alexander, and he cans a shot.
And they hope they need Keenan to come up big, bigger than he has all year. Udell has really emphasized that throughout the week. The young goalie, who was trying to fill the shoes of one of the best ever in Doherty, has to just play as good a game as he can. Flag is on the field, Quint. We've got a delayed call here, it looks like. Maryland will get a shot. And then an extra man. Whipple works in and gets double teamed. He'll have an open man in front. It's Hochstead who takes it off the iron. Off the pipe for Hochstead, 24 when he was doubled. Almost canned one past Gebhardt. It'll be an extra man play for Maryland.
There is Sean Keenan right there, 59%. Really had a poor outing last week against Virginia. He's been inconsistent. He can play very well or very poorly. This is Jason Gebhardt, 57%. Played well last week against Loyola. Had a couple shaky games along the way. Brown, perhaps his worst outing of the year, but he's been here before, and I think that will pay dividends. This is his second Final Four outing.
Here's the extra man for Maryland. Hochstead on the right hand, right there, and on the other side, it's Hanna. Those are the two big cannon shots from out top. They don't mind those guys going ahead and shooting it. In the middle is Evans. Right there is Hanna, the big left-handed shooter, as they get it back behind to Whipple. Hanna comes through. Now they go all the way to the far side. It goes off the defense stick of Syracuse. It'll be Maryland ball if they don't touch it. And they touched it and gave it to Syracuse. I think that would have been a Maryland ball had they not touched it.
Bonanni should have let that roll out of bounds. The officials didn't give the tip indication, so Bonanni tried for the scoop. Syracuse will control.
And they're going to give it to Casey Powell at the point where the ball will be inbounded, giving it right to the big guy.
Maryland still with an extra man here, so they look for them to double Casey Powell.
LaChapelle, number 6. As Powell goes back into his defensive zone. Taking the conservative route for the clear. Gebhardt misses it. It's an open net, but they couldn't pick it up. Hochstead had an open net and missed the scoop. Offside play.
I think it's a 10-second violation. Syracuse started that play in the offensive half of the field. They've got 10 seconds to get it into the offensive
I forgot
box.
where they started.
They brought it back to the defense and didn't advance.
Absolutely. When you start in that one offensive quadrant, you've got 10 seconds to get it up into your offensive zone.
Lucky play for Gebhardt right there. Hochstead misses the scoop with an open net. Gebhardt stays on it. He's a quality athlete. Some of these goalies are good athletes, some aren't, but Gebhardt certainly qualifies as a guy who can handle his stick and run up and down the field.
Defense counseled him to come up big. The defense inexperienced, not as good as historical defenses for the Syracuse team. Evans, they've got Whipple backside. Gardner right there. This is Hochstead. Can't get it again. Knocked down by the check of Syracuse.
Team's back to even strength.
Kataya made a nice check there as they're all even. 1-0. It's been one shot on goal, really, for Syracuse, and they canned it to give them the 1-0 lead about 4 minutes into the game. Whipple now controls behind. Their success against Virginia, which was right up there with Syracuse in goals per game average, was that they held the ball for long periods of time. And when they took shots, they shot high or wide and maintained possession. In front, Hahn finishes. Hahn takes it from Whipple. Nice cut on the inside, and that knots the game at 1.
That play started with Hillgartner on the near side. He drew the double team, got the ball behind a Whipple. Maryland had the numbers inside, and they find Hahn. This is Hillgartner, leans in. See, he draws 3 men, actually, and Whipple, 1-2 punch inside to Hahn, and that's what Hahn's best at. He is a tremendous finisher. Syracuse, the weakness of this defense, I think, is covering picks and covering feeds in front. They tend to ball watch. They tend to be over-aggressive, and Maryland has the attack that I think can capitalize on that, as that last goal showed. They make the quick 1-2 pass, find the man in front for the layup.
This is another face-off with Burns, the freshman, getting it to Casey Powell, who was on the wing. They put Powell on the wing. You know where he's going to be. He comes down with 2 players on him. Now here's the matchup. LaChapelle on Casey Powell. Powell dives in, and it'll be a flag. He comes in, tries the backhanded shot.
It was there. He had it. Got some kind of flag situation.
And Quint, the key is on this. They put him on the wing on the face-off so that he can get the ball. Well, then he came in and LaChapelle picked him up.
LaChapelle picked him up, which is a good move. Watch the dive shot here on the backhand. He had Keenan beat. Actually, it looked like Keenan's shoulder, the butt end, actually caught Casey Powell's stick, and the ball
nice check.
went
like
over the cage.
Nice body check for no gain.
They're going to play Powell on the wing of a lot of face-offs. That's a key for them. They've got to come up with the ball. They can't afford to let Maryland sit on the ball all day. And Powell is the leading ground ball player on Syracuse.
Game tied at 1. Keenan gets a big save there, stopping Ryan Powell, younger brother of Casey. Number 1, he's got it right now. Goes down low. Jackson to Casey, and he rips the corner. He gets hit after the shot, but that will count a 2-1 game in favor of Syracuse. And this is not what Keenan and Edel wanted. They wanted to limit the shots for Syracuse. So far, 3 shots, 2 goals.
Casey Powell, a little elevator. Low to high, offside to high, perfect accuracy in the corner. Keenan, a lefty. Casey Powell certainly aware of that, and he pings the corner. If I'm Maryland on their extra man, I'm going tight to Kavovit, Carcaterra, and Powell. I'm letting one of the other 3 players shoot.
Haggerty gets the face-off. Very important for Maryland, of course, against the young Byrne. And now they come down to get some possession time. Whipple way down in the corner, working for possession. He is going against McCartney. Now they're up with Burns still on the field. They've got a matchup here I think they like. The freshman Burns, they're going to make him play defense.
They're going to try to tire him out. He takes the majority, about 85 to 90% of the faceoffs for Syracuse. It's a hot day. It's about 85 degrees down on the field. He's not used to that. It hasn't been that hot in central New York. Maryland's certainly going to try to tire him out.
Burns is a kid who watched this game last year, the Syracuse game, from the crowd here at third. Playing for the famed Orangemen right now. Sackert can't keep up the defense, and Evans can't believe he missed the goal.
Evans has got a really nice change of direction. He can work the left-handed, right-handed, stop on a dime. The question mark is, can he hit the 6x6?
Kind of shots that they've been preaching to this team for a while. Keep the possession shots. Go wide, go high. Don't get it in the goalie's stick. Hockstead. Big, strong player he is. Scott comes in, drives in, he's got a shot now, pulls the right-handed trigger, and goes a little bit wide. It'll be a holding call on Syracuse, most likely, and they're appealing to it. It's Sam Boland who really got tied up.
Well, Hockstead turns the corner with such energy and enthusiasm. He's a strong kid. He leans his shoulder in. He takes that one-handed shot. Hockstead, when he puts his shoulder down, when he goes full speed, very, very difficult to stop. 28
goals on the year. He leads the team with goals, 6 assists.
Likes to turn that corner for the right-handed shot.
0 for 1 EMO, the extra man for Maryland. They really need to make these counts to get their chances against Syracuse. You kind of figure Syracuse is going to score a high percentage of their shots. The numbers are unbelievable for Syracuse. We'll talk about those in a little while. Right now, it's Maryland's turn. Hard shot Gebhardt just blocks it beautifully. It really didn't have great location.
No, hit Gebhardt right in the stick, actually. Both goalies are lefties here today.
Sackman brings it down, gives it off. Finally to teammates. That's Okerman behind the Jackson, or Kavovit rather, number 15. Kavovit, big numbers in playoffs. NCAA's offsides called against Syracuse. Syracuse will be Maryland ball. And we talked to Casey Powell a little bit earlier about being a marked man, as he has been for 3 years.
You know, I do come in the games knowing I'm going to be double teamed, but I've accepted that, you know, the past couple years. And but I have a lot of great players on this team that step up for every occasion. And it seems there's a lot of unsung heroes on our team that don't get the credit they deserve, but they're stepping up when I'm slacking off or when I'm playing bad, and you know, it makes me look better.
Well, they've still got a chance to get something on the board here. It's 2-1 in favor of Syracuse with Maryland in control. Hildgardner gets behind a Whipple. Hildgardner, 42, a key to the offense for Maryland. He wasn't attacking before Hockstead came on board. Now he plays in the midfield. Whipple pops in and can't get the angle he wants because Gebhardt doubled. Another shot, and that one's got rope. Great follow-up by Brian Zeller. Gebhardt played it as well as he could. The defense could not get control of the ball, and the follow-up killed him.
Gebhardt made the good play against the Whipple shot, but Zeller in the right place at the right time. Watch this. Whipple just trying to use his quickness inside. Ball goes wide, and look at Zeller in the right place at the right time. Lets it go right away to the offside. He had some injury problems early on in the season. Good shooter, 10 goals. Quick first step, he lets it go.
So 2-2 the score, 8 minutes left in the first quarter. Leif Ellsbo, Quinn Kesnick, ESPN2's presentation of NCAA semifinal lacrosse. The winner of this game will take on the Princeton Tigers. And the final on Monday, Memorial Day, you'll see that at 10:55 start time. Face-offs, 3-2 in favor of Maryland, and that, of course, is just the way they want it. They want to control those face-offs. Haggerty can't pick up the pass. And they're going to call offsides against Maryland. I think it was on a substitution on the backside, but offsides will be the call. The ball will go back to Syracuse, and they haven't wasted much time getting the ball in the net when they've had the ball. Good look at Dickie Dell, coach of Maryland.
Done a fabulous job this year. They struggled through the mid part of the year. After the ACC tournament, I think they sat down and they gave some guys some new roles, and the players understood their roles and accepted their roles, and they really played a lot better here in the month of May, winning 2 playoff games, and they got a shot to go all the way.
They had some things happen for them, like Bonanni, their key on defense, a player who came back from injury later in the season there and really solidified that defense. Kavovit, who has huge numbers for this team over the last 2 years in the playoffs. He is right there up top the last 2 years. This guy, number 15, not Powell, but Kavovit in total points in playoffs.
Lamy doing a super job against Kavovit.
This is Ryan Powell, Casey's brother. They try to get it into Kavovit. Ryan had a great shot. His brother Casey backs it up. Ryan playing out of position this year in midfield. Probably be on tack next year. Oh, the ball comes out of Casey Powell's stick as LaChapelle got into position. Here comes Maryland. John Miller, the fastest guy on their team. He can outrace everybody. Reese, long stick, gives it off to the wing. Looking to finish, and they do. Mari Lapointe put in on the attack in a beautiful fast break to give them their first lead of the game, 3-2.
Started with LaChapelle making the check against Casey Powell. He got the stop, and Maryland can run. Look at this on the defensive end. This starts the whole play. LaChapelle digging into Casey Powell right there. Ball deflects straight to Keenan, to Miller, who's got the wheels, and Reese has got the handle. Watch this. Low to high. He gets Gebhardt to duck just a bit and pops it high. If there's one weakness about Gebhardt is he tends to guess.
Lapointe, great job by him. He only has 4 goals on the year. Good size kid, 6'2", 195, 21% shooter. He'll have some chances today in a hot day here at College Park. 1 goal lead for Maryland. And again, Syracuse loads up their offense. Ira Vanterpool, an opposing figure in the midfield with his size. With one of the good-looking freshmen now taking a shot. And Syracuse looks to get it back. Keone took that shot. You noticed him because of his long hair coming out of his Cascade helmet. Maryland driving down on their end of the field. It's Osberg. And they will again get the players they want on the field. Evans comes back on.
You've got to take quality shots against Maryland because they're going to make you play defense on a hot day like this. In the long run, that's going to pay some benefits, I think, in the third and fourth quarters.
All the great teams Syracuse has had, loaded with offense over the years, they've always had dynamic defenses, great takeaway players. Not the case this year. Workman-like defensemen, no big stars, no deck of aces back there. Big shot by Radin coming over the top. And Frank Radin has been a huge player in the last few weeks. A lot of attention on Evans, a lot of attention on Hillgardner, and he stepped up big, Radin has.
Yeah, and if you switch the numbers between Radin and Evans, they're almost like clones. They're about the same size. They've got the same quickness. They both like to dodge to their right hand. The question is, can they hit the cage? Here's Evans.
Good shot with the right hand, goes wide again. That's what they want to do to maintain, again, possession of the ball. They'll go high, they'll go wide, keep it off the goalie's stick so they can keep it in Whipple's hands. Whipple, number 1, has it. Gets it out front to Pasqualina, and then back to Whipple. Whipple played in the championship game between these two teams 2 years ago in '95. Moving pick on Maryland, it'll go to Syracuse. We've got 4:40 left, 3-2 Maryland's favor. We talked to Hahn earlier about their fighting to get in.
Last month we were fighting to get in. We had to win the last 2 games to get in. You know, we didn't even get a seed. We weren't supposed to beat Georgetown. We definitely weren't supposed to beat Virginia. You know, here we are, the underdogs again, and we're ready to go.
Quite the finisher Hahn is, Matt Hahn. Watch the Syracuse team coming in. No double. It was Keenan coming out to try to double up on the driving Doug Jackson. And I'll tell you what, the efficiency is there. 3 goals for Syracuse. The game's tied. I think they have 5 total shots, Quint, and 3 of them are goals.
Well, they don't waste much time. It's the first time Jackson's really touched the ball. Dodges underneath on Banani, uses his quickness, and shoots before Keenan can really get out there and cut down the angle. You know, so much focus on Powell and Cavavit, and yet here Doug Jackson is with 35 goals.
And Banani's a very aggressive player. He's a slide man back there. He likes to help out. He doesn't like to sit back and wait for you to make your move.
You will get in trouble if you come out and play Jackson, though. He's got tremendous quickness. You overplay for a sec, he's going to capitalize.
Haggerty stepping up big, getting the last few faceoffs. Number 26 brings it down. He's got a man in the middle of the field. Doesn't see him, doesn't get help. Burnham couldn't help him. The ball goes deep into the corner. Little scrum going on down there, pulled out by finally Maryland. Whipple gets it, he's on the races. He's got people behind in LaPointe. And now it's down again to Syracuse. Watch out. Ryan Powell open to the far side if they see him. Here he is. Powell finally bringing it up. Numbers aren't there, though, as Maryland gets back and puts 5 guys in the hole. Out front, watch out. The check made off of Casey Powell. Beautiful job by the defensive LaChapelle.
Oh, they really force it inside to Powell. LaChapelle right in the numbers. Interesting thing about that matchup, 2 years ago in the finals, it was Radebaugh, the first-team All-American, covering Powell. LaChapelle was on Cavavit. Cavavit had a big day against LaChapelle. Here we are 2 years later. LaChapelle's improved his game quite a bit. It's his turn to play Casey Powell.
He's the guy. Now watch how they force it into the middle, Quint.
Oh, he's covered pretty well right here. Watch the stick check right there. The goalie is telling LaChapelle to check sticks, and he got the long stick right on his gloves. Nice defense.
I watched Maryland's practice 2 days ago, Q, and that's exactly what they did. Edel kept telling his mock attack, said push it to the crease. We don't do it, but push it to the crease. Push it to the crease. He kept making him force the feed to the crease to get him set for this kind of offense. Casey Powell now on the crease looking for a feed. Maryland now being very patient. Short stick behind. Again, it's Jackson trying to mark up. No, it's Casey. It's Casey Powell's younger brother, Ryan. He had a short stick in the crease. It'll be a violation, giving the ball back to Keenan and Maryland.
Ryan Powell, a natural attackman, playing out of position this year at the midfield. He had penetration there. Watch this. He had penetration. He just had to tuck his stick for a half a second there. He's got the shot. You got to keep that stick real close to your face mask on that inside roll.
Osberg was playing defense on him, tied up a little bit as ball goes out of bounds. It'll go to Hillgardner and Maryland. Hillgardner's really stepped up. He's a team captain. Again, he was the player that was a little bit pushed out of the starting lineup when Hockstead, the great talent, came on, number 24. But he is such a good player and versatile and such a vocal leader that he is now on the starting midfield unit doing a great job.
Well-balanced, too. He can score and he can feed. Seldom loses the ball. He really understands what Coach Adele wants out of their settled offense.
So Adele now has to benefit when he's on the field of 4 starting attackmen with those 6 players. You add Evans. Got quite an offensive duo there, or 5 and 6. Looks like a push call. It'll go against Maryland. Marcus LaChapelle, looks like.
Another
Anonymity in a game, in a sport that has a lot of family playing. We have 3 brothers on the Maryland team as you look at Roy Simmons. 69 and 5 after March. They don't like that cold weather coming out of the dome. They don't like to play in that cold stuff down here, and but once it gets warm.
93% wins. That's unbelievable.
Maryland DMO 0 for 2. They've had a couple good shots, but haven't beaten Gebhardt. We've got 2:12 left in the first quarter. This game's tied at 3. Tried to feed it in, forced it actually to Hahn, and was knocked down beautifully. The defense of Sam Bowen. Again, trying to force the crease. They tried to get Hilgardner that time.
Nice pickoff. Syracuse playing some tough extra man defense. They're stay-at-home type defenders. They fit the extra man philosophy very well.
Cavalvit getting a step on the defensive Lamy, but Lamy is such a big player. He just took him away. Teams at even strength now.
Lamy's really getting the better of that matchup so far with 2 takeaways against Cavalvit.
Chris Lamy,
you made a good point, Lee. Yeah, he's huge. He's
6'5".
He's got the long pole. You've got to start your move about 5 yards away from him or get inside his stick. And Cavalvit's having some problems with that right now.
It's a kid who played on the under-19 team. They got him from Penn State, I believe. They got him as a transfer. And really has been a sensation. You figure he's your number 2, number 3 guy. You got Bonanni, you got Lamy, and then
Reese is really
Reese is your long stick guy in the midfield. So they are big and tough, as big as Duke. We talked about Duke's size when they played Princeton. Well, this team is every bit as tall.
Yeah, not as muscular. And they handle the ball well, too, which is really essential these days.
Under a minute to go in the first quarter, game tied at 3. Hilgardner now controls. This is like having a coach out there. The senior really can control the ball, calls the plays when he comes in there, gets things set up. He really can occupy time and really push in for the right-handed shot here. This is his favorite location on the field.
They're holding for 1 shot.
He's got Kataya, too. He's got a matchup here against the freshman. He likes this. Short stick defense, freshman kid. He wants to take him to the hole with 20 seconds left. And he does. Hilgardner. He's got open a 1-goal lead. Textbook play by Hilgardner.
We have seen Hilgardner do this time and time again. He likes the left-handed drive, turn to the cage right-handed and take the quick shot, and he loves isolating against the short sticks. You know it's coming. If you're Syracuse, you've got to recognize Hilgardner, know his strengths. He's coming back to that right hand. You've got a slide right there, either underneath or top side. Excellent recognition by Hilgardner. He recognized that he had the short stick freshman and took him to the cooker.
And used the clock beautifully. 20 seconds left. That's all he left Syracuse. And guess what? That might be all they need. Here they come. Casey Powell. Time winding down. Short stick on him. Doesn't get the shot off. Gets it to Cavalvit. That was odd. Huey had a good matchup and didn't go for it. He had Osberg on him and just took it into the goal. The time winding down. It'll be the end of the first quarter. And Maryland comes back after Syracuse scored the opening goal. Maryland matches them 4-2 the rest of the way for a 4-3 lead at the end of the first quarter. We'll be back to Byrd Stadium in just a moment. We're back at Byrd Stadium for our NCAA Division I lacrosse semifinal. As the Syracuse Orangemen, their exciting attack led by Casey Powell against the Maryland Terrapins, the unseeded Giant Killers. Don't miss ESPN2's coverage of Major League Soccer. It'll be the New England Revolution against the Colorado Rapids Saturday, May 24th. That's at 8 p.m. Eastern start time. It's from Mile High Stadium. All the stars of Major League Soccer on ESPN2. Back to Byrd Stadium with a record crowd watching our second semifinal. The winner of this game will take on the Princeton Tigers, a team that's been undefeated this season and waiting for the winner here. Casey Powell, number 22. The teams have switched ends, going in opposite directions. And Powell is really not getting his time with the ball.
That's a look that he loves to make. Kavovit likes to sneak from behind the cage. Powell will be dodging out front. He'll make that risky play. You know, Casey Powell's a high-risk, high-reward type of player. Look at the numbers. Maryland controlling the shots. 13-6. Ground balls about even. Face-offs even. Casey Powell's got 3 shots in the first quarter. 1 goal. Maryland had 4 different players score.
He really hasn't had that many minutes holding it. He's not looked super comfortable with the ball. Maryland so far doing a good job of keeping out of that comfort zone. Whipple backdoors it to Hahn, who just misses behind the goal. Whipple backs up. They've got Hockstedt on the crease. Evans looks to Radin out front, but Ryan Powell goes to pick up Radin. Evans gets a pick. He's open now as they slide off to pick him up. Looking for the cutting back door. The shot comes in and Gebhardt cuts the angle beautifully. What a save by Gebhardt. He came 3 giant steps out of the crease to cut the angle and just chipped that one away.
He's got those quick hands. That's a big-time stuff from the inside.
Man, that was a slam dunk for the backdoor shooter. He had everything there. The angle was cut beautifully by Gebhardt.
Terrific look by Maryland, really zinging the ball around there. It's amazing how Whipple can always find Hahn. Those two work together so well. There's Gebhardt. 4 saves, none better than that last one. I think being in this arena last year will really help him. He didn't look good last year. Today, he looks good. He's seeing the ball well. That was an excellent reaction.
Some have characterized this game as Jason Gebhardt protecting that inexperienced defense. On the other end of the field, it's an experienced defense protecting their inexperienced goalie Keenan.
Not bad.
Hanna gets it back to Whipple, the quarterback for this team. 4-3, Maryland leads. We're in the second quarter. Plenty of time left in that quarter. Shot goes off the ground. A nice bounce shot for Maryland. And it'll be Brian Zeller to take that goal. A 2-goal lead as Zeller knocks that one home. 9 goals in the season before that.
He's got 2 today. He likes the right-handed sweep. He's got a quick first step. He had injury problems. He's certainly a one-on-one threat. The question with him is whether he can hit the net. That's the question with a lot of the Maryland midfielders. And right there, just a beautiful sweeping bounce shot. It's often tough to pick that ball up as the player is running. Brian Zeller.
Good-looking freshman player. Young kid. 2 straight goals for Maryland, both unassisted, Q. They're really hurting Syracuse, but maybe they didn't expect. They're really taking them on one-on-one. 5-3 now. 2-goal lead with 13 left in the second. And again, Maryland gets that faceoff.
Well, Maryland's middies have deceptive speed. Guys like Radin, Evans, and Zeller can penetrate. Then they got a couple good shooters with Hanna.
Evans now takes the ball behind. This is their All-American in the midfield. He's got a nice matchup here with the young kid, Ryan Powell. This is an attackman who's forced to play midfield this year and maybe not used to playing the tough defense that we required right now. Big move by Evans, comes in, forcing position, looking for the backside if he can turn. Good job by Powell to keep him from the shot. Radin tucks in, right-handed shot, he's got it! Radin finds rope, and the score is 6-3, a 3-goal lead for Maryland. This team has been growing in confidence. They beat Georgetown in the first playoff game after really not being sure of their playoff seed.
3 unassisted goals. We talked about the speed and quickness of the Maryland midfielders. They're isolating up top. They're getting penetration. They're finishing their shots. Radin, left-handed to right-handed, scoots inside and pings the corner.
And we haven't seen too many slides, effective slides from the defense of Syracuse. Face-off coming right down for Syracuse. Inside, Jackson misses high.
Radin and Evans and Zeller, these guys are time bombs. It's just a matter of when they're going to hit the net, because you know they're going to get their shots.
Matt Alexander had that face-off burn right down the fast break.
Jackson, you can see the quickness, missing the goal.
We're 18 minutes into this game. Quint in only 1 transition goal for the great running gun Syracuse team.
Syracuse needs a good possession here. They really haven't gotten into much of a nice 6-on-6 half-field flow.
Ryan Powell gets a double team, something of the open if he moves it around backside. Casey now takes it against LaChapelle. This is our Nike face-to-face. He backs off now. Calls the play, left hand up in the air. Oh, he's got to move. Quick feet for Casey Powell. The double gets him across the net. He still beats him inside. He can't get the shot off. Reese came out and caught him across the net.
You can see how Maryland, sensing that LaChapelle was burnt, really slid quickly. Reese came out.
The first step is explosive.
And he caught LaChapelle on a poke check. Powell right there just arching his back, making sure the call is made.
Reese made the slide, got him across the neck.
But Powell really took off when LaChapelle lunged with the poke check. He was by him. He can beat you in so many ways. He likes to lean in sometimes. Other times he'll run around you.
When you watch the
really
tapes,
very versatile. It's so tough to figure out what he's going to do.
You watch the tapes on him, he's got the stick work and he's got the power. So you're right, he can lock up on you and make you just get twisted in knots. So far, LaChapelle has done a great job of really making him less than super. He's got 1 goal on the day, 6-3 the score, 3-goal lead, but here is an extra man for Syracuse. They drop it down low. Jackson looks to the far side.
Got Carcaterra on the near side, number 19. We haven't heard from him yet. Certainly not shy to shoot from the outside.
Look how hard Laney is working the backside. A lot of times they don't get that much pressure. Backs to Ryan Powell. And now it's an even situation as they get it over to Jackson. Works inside, tries to find room, doesn't get it. Maryland now all even with Syracuse. They'll take the shot right there. And that one finds the mark to give them a 6-4 game.
Kataya, 10th goal of the season. Plays on the extra man. Usually he's on the left side of the extra man. Coming out of that situation, the teams were at even strength. Kataya just wasn't covered. He's at about 12, 13 yards and just lets it rip. Beating Keenan. You've got to step up and play that man.
Good size.
Potential screen right there also.
He's 6'1", 195 from Homer, New York. That's his 10th goal of the year. 6-4 game, 2-goal lead for Maryland. 10:40 left in the second quarter. 3-0 Maryland run stopped by the Kataya goal. And another face-off controlled by Maryland. Whistle will stop play. Looks like a timeout probably called by Maryland. A possession timeout, which you see a lot of these days. He was in trouble. Coach calls a timeout. He wants the possession, and with 10:30 left, he burns one of his 2 timeouts for this half. Maryland will have the 2-goal lead in the ball. You look at Dickie Dell there. This team really has a chemistry and a good system on how they have to win. It'll be a 22nd timeout.
Yeah, and it didn't come easy for them this year. They lost a bunch of ball games early on in the year, and they struggled, and they hit a cold spell against Hopkins and Duke. Made some changes, and the players really responded. You know, and then Coach Adele's very good at developing not a mentality, but a character of a team. And this team, they think they're the underdogs, and they really rally around that. When they played Georgetown, theoretically they were the favorite, but they considered themselves the underdog, and I think they really gained a lot of momentum from that.
He's a player's coach, and they all love playing for Dickie Dell. Let's take a look at what's happening Monday. These 2 semifinal champions to be Princeton against the winner of this game, playing for the NCAA Division I Lacrosse Championship Monday. It's a 10:55 start time. You don't want to miss Quit 9 or pregame, so tune in at 10:55. Face-off is at 11 a.m. on ESPN. Ball back now to Hannah and Maryland. They had a timeout, really just trying to maintain that possession, calm things down, get the right people on the field. 2-goal lead for them. Shot from out front. Look at that high shot. If it hits the corner, great. If not, Whipple gets it.
He's got a cannon. The lefty.
Whipple coming from behind, wheels back, but good defense played. Syracuse locking up on him. That's McCartney. Ball out front, and Wilson turns it back as Maryland tries to get something going with Zeller. Zeller, the right-handed shot with no angle at all. Bounces back to Whipple.
He's got 2 goals. You can sense his confidence.
This kid is going to help the program, no doubt about it. Good-looking freshman. Whipple locked up on McCartney. Feeding in front. Hillgartner again was trying to get a shot, but he was really locked up by the defensive Volan.
Nice job by Volan. Fighting through the pick.
Now, Hillgartner's playing midfield, but they put one of their starting defenseman, Volan, out on him when he comes into midfield. Back door to Hochstead.
Terrific look inside by Whipple. Finding Hochstead on the backside. Really credit Whipple here, and credit Hochstead with making a really nice handle. Here it is again. This is Zeller to Whipple, and Hochstead will move from left to right on the screen. There he is, squeaking it past Gebhardt. Really a gutsy feed by Whipple. And terrific catch there by Hockstedt.
He made him reach out, and of course, reaching out made the shot go behind Gebhardt, who was coming from his right to his left. 7-3. Now another 3-goal lead. They've scored 4 of the last 5 goals. Maryland has. Really taking a lot of wind out of this run and gun offense. Vanterpool gets the faceoff. 7 different goal scorers for Maryland. They get it down low. It's Casey Powell, and Keenan makes the big save.
Good job by Keenan right there. Powell with the quick release. Keenan, a short goalie. He's got to protect high with that stick, and he did that time.
Yeah, we're talking about Casey Powell in our Nike face-to-face, but I think the Laney-Kavovit matchup is as important as any other because Kavovit makes this team work on offense. He really is the anchor where the flash is Powell.
They need some midfield scoring, though. They've got to get goals from guys like Keone, Kataya, Vanterpool. If they don't get scoring from those complementary players, I don't think they'll win if the Laney-Kavovit matchup continues to favor Maryland.
You know, this team, Syracuse, is a lot like Virginia, the team that Maryland beat to get here. Maryland won that game by 1 goal, but they dominated the game. They missed so many shots. They outshot them 64-27. They could have won by 10. This one could be getting out of hand now, 7-4. But Syracuse comes right back. Penalty and a shot and a goal by Casey Powell, who is down.
He's down, and he looks to be getting back up. But Bonatti came over after the shot and just leveled Casey Powell in the head. Let's take a look at the ISO here. This is Powell one-on-one in our featured matchup against La Chapelle. Watch the shot will go in, and then watch Bonatti, number 27, will get him right in the helmet. Boom! Ooh, in the back of the head.
Bonatti is the slide guy, tough as nails.
Look at Powell launching himself.
And that's exactly what you...
Both players flying through the middle at each other.
Second goal today for Casey Powell.
There was a flag. Exactly. There's going to be a dead ball foul against Bonatti, and that'll be at least a minute. 1 minute against Bonatti.
And Bonatti almost knocked himself out last week in Virginia. Here's a guy who came back from breaking his leg in 3 places to rejoin this team. He's the vocal leader, Bonatti is, on the defense. It hurts when he comes out of the man down because he's a real vocal guy. He gets the slides working. Now he is out on that hit, and it'll be not only a 2-goal lead for Maryland, a chance to make it a 1-goal game with an extra man for Syracuse.
He is the ringleader. Syracuse 1 for 2 on extra man. Casey Powell has been targeted his entire career. I don't think taking it to him physically is really going to throw his game off. I think it'd be better to get there early, and get there legally.
He's a tough kid who watched the Gates play against your team at Hopkins, and he dreamed of being the same kind of hero, and he is just that, wearing the number 22. Easy backdoor cut by Ryan Powell. Kavovit, it was Casey to Kavovit to Ryan on the back door, making it a 7-6 game. Very easy cut. And again, go back to Bonatti, the vocal leader, making those slides, calling the cuts, who was out of the game because of the penalty.
7-6. That was too easy. Kavovit with the second assist to Powell in front. Second extra man goal by Syracuse. They make it look so easy. They have always had a super extra man squad dating back to the early 80s, 1983, with the Nelson brothers, through the late 80s with the Gates and the Maricek in the 90s, and now with the Powells.
A team that has electrified crowds with their great offense, and the kind of team that wants to beat you 19-18, where Princeton wants to beat you 6-5, 5-4, whatever it takes. Keep the game conservative. Reese on the wing against Vanterpool. Reese gets the ball to Radin. He comes inside the offensive box to get a fresh 10 seconds. Once again, he'll go back and touch inside. Vanterpool in front of him playing defense. And he'll make Vanterpool play him. Vanterpool's 6'2", if they give the ball off to the wing. Whipple comes around after Bill Rule gave it back to him. Evans up top on the midfield. He'll get the ball now. He's got a long stick on him. Backs up for some space, using speed for the right hand. Got a lot of room. It cleared out for him. Watch the slide coming from Vanterpool. Evans inside. Underhand shot, but Gebhardt was there to take it away.
He is so tough to cover. You think you have him, then he squirts away. Next thing you know, he's right in front of the cage.
McCartan locking up Whipple. Another shot by Evans. Gebhardt again with a nice save. You know, Evans has not shied away from a long stick defender yet today. Here comes Syracuse. Into Vanterpool. Can't pick it up, but the backup does. Kavovit elects to maintain possession. Get some players off the field, get the offensive guys on.
Smart decision by Cavavit right there. They did not have the numbers. They did not have the offensive personnel. They've been playing too much defense. So they settle it down.
Bonanni playing defense, locking up against Jackson. Bonanni, the smallest defenseman, but the biggest hitter. The slide guy, Kataya. Rangy coming in with the left hand, getting it back. Cavavit drives it back to the far side. Powell. Powell has not really, gotten in the face of LaChapelle. Taking his time with it. Kataya now. Oh, it's Sione, right? Keone. Help me with these names. Keone. All right, Kataya was Keone both times. Penalty on this play. Keone, the freshman, goes out for 16.
Bonanni's going to be flagged again. This is Casey Powell leaning in against LaChapelle. And watch the late. They're going to call another late hit on Bonanni right there. Referees really protecting Casey Powell. Obviously, one of Maryland's strategies was to double physically with Bonanni, and yet that's his second foul.
That's his style, too. I mean, Bonanni just loves to slide. He loves to hit.
And he comes hard. He comes hard, and he comes with a certain explosion. It's kind of scary if you're an offensive player.
Talked about him again before he broke his leg in 3 places on the AstroTurf in practice. Last week against Virginia, he slid so hard, was out with a mild concussion for several plays. Cavavit up to Carcaterra, who we haven't heard much from. 2 for 3. Syracuse is on extra man. That's pretty lethal. Cavavit comes around, not much angle, and they're going to give him that goal against Keenan. And this is a tied game, 7-7. Syracuse locking it up with 5:47 left in the first half.
3 for 4 on the extra man. Syracuse really making the Maryland defense pay for their over-aggressive mistakes. Cavavit sitting behind. No one plays a little dip and dunk. Beats Keenan right above his head. Cavavit is so smart. He's so cagey. He can go righty. He can go lefty. 37 goals. He's played great in the NCAAs. Lamey's doing a good job against him one-on-one, but in the extra man, the transition situations, he's really unstoppable.
And I think, again, it really hurts when Bonanni's the guy who goes out on the penalty, because when you're man down, you need the vocal guy. Keenan's not a big vocal goalie. You need Bonanni in there, really talking slides, talking position. So not only do you lose when you're starting defenseman, but when Bonanni gets a penalty, you lose your vocal leader. Game tied at 7. Last 2 goals were extra man goals for Syracuse. They have scored 3 straight. Oh, Hannah tries to get it over to Zeller, who just missed it.
Maryland really seems to want to isolate against Ryan Powell, as we mentioned earlier.
Syracuse relies on that first midfield a lot. They want to tire him out.
This is Alexander and Cummings for Syracuse in with the short sticks.
Bill Gardner now getting his unit reset. Zeller looks to go back. He does it, and a big shot, and he's got it. That's that velocity, the big cannon with the left hand. You'll find him up there on the left-hand side for the extra man play because of that kind of velocity.
He's got the lefty laser. He's not the guy you want to give with time and room in front of the cage. Watch this. Zeller draws the double team, kicks it back to his line mate. Lefty laser. Offside hip. Nothing you can do about that. That is a man you must cover outside. Make him a dodger, not a shooter. 10 goals this year.
Hannah's got the big shot to make it an 8-7 game. 1 goal lead with 4:22 left. Procedure call gives it back to Maryland.
Really no reason to double team Zeller on that situation as he's dodging right-handed there. Cummings was doing a nice job, and Alexander kind of came over to help him out. Really wasn't a particularly smart defensive play, leaving Hannah open for that 12-yard shot.
Maryland, 8 different goal scorers. They really have a balanced showing on the offensive end. Very patient, taking their time to set up the shots they want. Zeller brings it down, gets it behind a Whipple. Whipple was here in 95, just takes the right-handed underhand shot, but checked away with McCartan's defense. Pulled it too close, but backed up by Hilgartner. Hilgartner getting a lot of time, Quint, with a lot of different faces out there. I think he's mixed it up the lines, making sure Hilgartner's on the field a lot.
Nice check by Ryan Cummings. He likes that one-hand wrap check.
Hochstead catches him in the face. No penalty until then. A little bit of pushing and shoving.
This team's going at it right now. Certainly a level of physical intensity out there. Alexander attempting to clear. Watch the replay. You'll see it. This is a clear foul. The stick gets caught up in the face mask right there. Alexander better look at his chin strap.
Syracuse 3 for 4 on the extra man. Let's see if Bonanni, I keep going back to that, but I think it's such an important point. He's on this man down unit. Let's see if they can tighten it up. Good look at Hochstedt right there on that riding play. Syracuse is a tough team to read this year when you look at the results. They had huge wins like 22-21 against Virginia, and they had some losses that you wouldn't expect. Georgetown they couldn't beat.
Brown crushed them in the Carrier Dome, 20-12.
But they're a team that really plays big in May. 2 straight extra man goals for Syracuse. They're trying to make it 3. Cummings to Carcaterra. That's a guy you can hear from before too long. Carcaterra has the big right-handed shot. He's up top right now. Wearing number 19. Casey Powell back to Carcaterra.
Timeout, Syracuse.
Called by Syracuse. They didn't like what they were looking at, and they will call a timeout with 2:51 left in the first half. Maryland leads by 1. Great success on the extra man. Syracuse wants to take advantage of it and can this one if possible.
It's really been the key to their offense right now. Maryland has controlled the tempo, but they've fouled. Syracuse has capitalized.
Dickie Dell talking to the sidelines. Players and the coaches and the refs making sure everything is understood. This team is so controlled. They do things so much on their tempo. Against Virginia last week, it was unbelievable the way they controlled the great offense of Virginia. They controlled the ball for at least 60-75% of the game. But the Syracuse team is always here in May, and they always play tough in big games. And Coach Sims talked to us about the tradition of Syracuse.
I listened to my kids, although they don't realize that, in the locker room last week when we were at the quarterfinals. And they were saying just before the game, we can't let down now and be responsible for breaking the tradition to all the alumni who graduated ahead of us for a decade and a half. They're all in the stands with their wives and kids, you know, and they don't want to see the chain broken. So that's an extra burden we carry. Everybody in this Final Four has a burden. Maryland is in their own stadium. Duke is there for the first time. And Princeton's #1 defending champion. We all have that little extra baggage. Ours is very important in the fact that it's tradition. A decade and a half of being there, never being turned back, being there where the dance is. And maybe someday we'll slip. Never fall, but slip.
The great tradition of Syracuse being challenged by Maryland. The speed coming down the field of Miller really electrified this crowd, and the fast break was off and running. Maryland scores on a man-short opportunity. They're up by 2.
Miller got big-time speed, blowing by Syracuse. Coming in, he looked like he wanted to take the shot, didn't, kicked it to Whipple, and Gebhardt guessed low, and Whipple went high with the shot. Off that timeout, Maryland extended their defense, put a little pressure on the Syracuse extra man, got the turnover, and Miller legged it about 80 yards. He is fast. That was blinding speed.
Timeout called now by Maryland. I don't want to belabor this point, Quint, but Bonanni's in on that man down. The one before, he was not in for 2 straight. He's in that one. They score instead of Syracuse. 9-7. They lead by 2 with 2 minutes to go in the half on this goal set up by Miller. We'll be back to our semifinal in Maryland in just a moment. Back at Byrd Stadium, Leaf Elsmo, Quint Kesnick, 9-7 Maryland, staying on top of Syracuse. They were a man short. Syracuse had scored 2 straight extra man goals, and it was Maryland who got the fast break with Miller, canned their 9th goal, 2-goal lead with just 2.5 minutes left.
That's a big play. Syracuse calls timeout, sets something up. Maryland counters with a little aggression. They make the play. Maryland now still down a man for 5 seconds, so that goal was really scored shorthanded.
And I think that's why Edel called a timeout. He wanted to get the right people in there and let them understand that they'd be short for 5 seconds. Whistle on the play. Can't tell you what it is. As Edel looks on, he has to be tremendously happy with the tempo of this first half. Dick Edel has had things going pretty well. They've taken their opportunities. Good defense, have not let Casey Powell run away with this game. 13th season at Maryland. You see Dick Edel, look at that record, 113-55. We talked about the size of Duke. Duke has a big team, but when you and I look at the defense of this Maryland team, they are up there. They are big boys. 2:26 left. First half, 9-7. Important face-off coming up as Maryland wants to control the ball in the final moments of this half. And what a great move. Shoe comes off. Somebody's playing without a shoe, and
it's Reese.
Reese.
He made a great play. Scooped up the ground ball and then actually rolled it around the Syracuse player. Lost his shoe.
He was appealing to the ref to get him to call timeout now with possession just to get his shoe off the field.
He is one of the most underrated long stick midfielders in the country. Has improved during his career at Maryland. They feel confident that he can cover any midfielder that Maryland plays.
Junior out of Towson, Maryland. He's a defenseman. Will come down and take a couple shots. He's got 3 goals on the year and 3 assists. Not bad numbers for a short stick midfielder. Under 2 minutes to go, 2-goal lead. You know that they'll be going for 1 shot, trying to keep the ball out of Casey Powell's hands. Graydon works the ball behind, gives it to Whipple. Evans up top, who has not shied away from any matchup. Maryland now giving the ball to Pasqualina. Pasqualina matched up against Alexander defensively. About 1 minute and 10 left. I don't think you'll see a shot, Quint, until about 10 seconds left. Evans being played by Saccharin. Whipple steps up to make a pick. They've got to keep in the box now. Warning for stall, so they can't come out of the box. There are only 45 seconds left. Pasqualina tries to get it to the wing, can't do it, goes out of bounds on Evans. Plenty of time left for Syracuse to get a shot off. That's exactly what Edel did not want.
Matt Alexander for Syracuse with some nice defensive pressure, peppering the bottom hand of Pasqualina, forcing that errant pass.
So now plenty of time for Syracuse to get a shot off. 35 seconds left. Let's see what they do. They give it to Powell. Here's the big matchup. Now drives it back to Kavovit, who has Lamy on him. That's 6'5". Tough matchup there. This is Kavovit again. Ryan Powell with a short stick against him. Osberg playing defense on Ryan Powell. Ryan Powell, natural attack player, has got great stick skills. Here comes the double. Bonanni comes in. And a timeout called by Syracuse with 9 seconds left. Bonanni was on his horse. He was coming with a slide. And when we come back, we'll have the final seconds of the first half. 2-goal lead for Maryland. Roy Simmons on the sideline. We'll take a break in just a moment. 9 seconds left. Let's stick with this timeout. He called a timeout kind of a odd thing, Q. He had a man in motion, in play. They had a slide coming, which normally means you've got something happening. You might be able to dish it off. You might be able to dunk something on the backside, and timeout was called.
Well, he called the timeout before that happened. By the time the referees heard his call and blew their whistle, that transpired. We can look for Syracuse right now to kind of, Powell will handle the ball. I wouldn't be surprised if he tried to initiate a dodge on the near side, draw the double team, get it behind, and then work some kind of action on the backside. Certainly Casey Powell's going to draw a lot of attention if he makes one pass behind the Kavovit and then maybe look for Kavovit inside.
Let me make a suggestion. Carcaterra. He's got a cannon from outside. We haven't seen it yet. Carcaterra comes in, though. He's not going to be there. Powell comes in. Double team. Banani up top. Can't get a shot off in the final seconds as the time winds down. 9-7 will be the end score of the first half. A 2-goal lead for Maryland, stunning Casey Powell, number 22, in this vaunted, famous offense of the Syracuse Orangemen. The big defense of Maryland has done their job. Keenan has been good enough, and a 2-goal lead for Maryland with 1 half yet to play. Any surprises, Q?
No, I don't think. I think Maryland's doing a great job right now. You can see at the midfield line, Banani's talking to the officials. The concern for Maryland are the fouls. They've given up 3 extra man goals. They've done a decent job against Casey Powell, limited him to 4 shots and 2 goals. One of those came on an extra man opportunity. But Syracuse, without the 3 extra man goals, would only have 4 goals. So they're cutting off the transition opportunities, but they are fouling at this point. Their offense is extremely sharp. They've had 8 different goal scorers. That's always a good sign.
You're looking at Dick Edel and the coaching staff, including Doc Doherty, or Doc Doherty, rather. We'll be back with halftime in just a moment. We're back at Byrd Stadium. 9-7 the score. We're going to go right to Coach Dick Edel of Maryland with a 2-goal lead, surprising some people, I'm sure, but this is an unseeded Maryland team. Dick, you must be very happy with the tempo of this game. You've got 8 different guys scoring, and you've held the big guns to no big damage.
Yeah, I think we've had a little trouble, some unnecessary fouls there in the half, and that's a team that, we want to play 6-on-6. We sure as hell don't want to play a man down. And that hurt us a little bit, but you're right. I think that we did offensively what we wanted to do. Got a little bit selfish at the end of the half. We're not going to try to do this thing individually. It's a collective effort, and we started going to a little bit of too much one-on-one stuff there at the end of the half, but we'll get that straightened out.
I don't think you have to change too much. It looks like everything's working, and Zeller's giving you just enough so far to keep you ahead of the game.
Right, and he's another one of those, I guess, unseeded, unhailed young people, but he was on that under-19 team, broke his foot, and didn't get to go to Australia, missed his entire freshman year. So basically this is the end of his redshirt freshman year, and certainly what a way to finish it.
All right, we'll get into your team at halftime. Our congratulations for a great first half. That's Dick Edel. They call him Big Man. His team leads by 2. We'll be back with more halftime here at Byrd Stadium in just a moment. You're looking at Byrd Stadium, the Terrapin outside of the locker rooms. 30,000 plus. It's a record crowd. It's official here to watch the Terrapins take on the Syracuse Orangemen. They lead 9-7, an unseeded team threatening to be the 3rd team unseeded to get into the finals, and that would be dramatic. Right now, they've got things going their way.
Yeah, they look sharp. They're winning some face-offs. They're working the ball around. Certainly, no one is doing it single-handedly. They've got 8 different goal scorers. The only problem, the fouls. They've given up 3 extra man goals to Syracuse.
Well, the winner of this game will take on the Princeton Tigers. The defending champs had a tough time today beating the number 5 seed Duke team. That game really went down to the wire. It was a 10-9 final, but it was Duke leading by 2 late in the game. You see Princeton there finally winning, but it wasn't easy.
Duke was behind 6-1, but they rallied, came back, and Princeton scored the last 3 goals of the game. Massey and Hess teaming up on that last goal right there really showed a lot of heart. They were down 9-7 entering the 4th quarter. They scored the last 3 goals. Ozier, Massey, superb performances by their goalie, Pat Cairns, in the 4th quarter also.
They know how to win close games, and that's why they are where they are. The defending champions, tough and a great undefeated streak. The coach, Bill Tierney, very emotional after the game. Big win, yes, but they had a purpose in their win besides just returning to the championship.
Well, Leaf, it's tough. You're undefeated and everybody's shooting for you. But again, the kids got a lot of great heart. We're playing for Chris Heinel, a young man who's paralyzed up in Princeton, New Jersey, and kids want to do this for him.
When we come back, we will give you more of our halftime report from Maryland. Byrd Stadium is in anticipation of a second half. The Syracuse Orangemen and Casey Powell have to come back from a 2-goal deficit against the Terrapins. Stay with us. A record crowd looking on at Byrd Stadium. The new record, 30,500 plus, to see the semifinals for 1997. Princeton already into the championship game. The winner of this game between Syracuse and Maryland will advance to that final on Monday. It'll be at 10:55 airtime. You'll see it on ESPN. But right now we are looking at our first half highlights. In Quint, Maryland did a great job of being just very controlled and opportunistic on offense.
Yeah, that's Zeller to Hannah, who's got the lefty laser from the outside. Maryland really spreading it around on offense, and then they got running. It was Miller to Whipple, beating Gebhardt high. That was one of their only transition goals, and in fact, that was a goal that was scored shorthanded.
And of course, defensively, they kept Casey Powell from controlling the game. He's a factor, but he hasn't taken over. That'll be their charge for the rest of the game. We'll be back with our second half in just a moment. We're back at Byrd Stadium, 9-7. Maryland leads by 2. They have controlled the game pretty much the way they wanted. Syracuse hasn't had much trouble scoring when they get the ball. We are now with Coach Roy Simmons, who has a fabled history with the Syracuse team. They know how to win the big games. And Roy, your team doesn't really need much time to score when you get the ball, but Maryland has done a good job of controlling.
They have, not unlike last week in the quarterfinals. They control the ball game, ball control, and a lot of shot and selection. We've got to get to the goalie a little more than we have. I think we've scored well when we got the shots off, but they've certainly outshot us 2 or 3 to 1, and we got to control the ball a little more in the second half. And we can't let them take us out of the ball game with cheap shots that are plotted by their team. I'm incensed.
All right, well, wish you good luck in the second half. And I tell you what, Roy Simmons making a statement there, Quint. Feels like some of these shots really meant to hurt.
Well, regardless of whether they're meant to hurt or not, I think what he was just upset about was Maryland's attitude on the bench, perhaps, applauding Banani's hits to Casey Powell. Certainly, Casey Powell's a labeled man, and lacrosse is a physical and a violent sport within the rules. I guess he was just unhappy with the way Maryland applauded Mike Banani's hits on Casey Powell, certainly.
And Casey Powell's the kind of guy, as we have talked about, that can take over a game. I don't think we've heard the last of Casey Powell in this game. There's another 30 minutes to go, and Maryland will have to deal with Casey Powell for those 30 minutes. They'll have a 2-goal lead, 9-7, as they start the second half. And take a look at the numbers in the first half.
Coach Simmons was right about the shots. Maryland out shooting Syracuse 25-13. Shots on goal 14-8. Look at the saves. Keenan of Maryland has only made 1 save. That's amazing. Ground balls being controlled by Maryland. They are doing a great job. And a key stat, Syracuse 3 for 5 on extra man faceoffs in favor of Maryland, also 10-7.
0 for 3 Maryland is on those extra mans, and Quint, that is something that they could really take advantage of, is really punching home a few goals in that extra man situation. Haven't done it so far. Today's attendance, 30,580, largest crowd ever to see an NCAA Division I lacrosse game, breaking the record set in '95 by about 200 attendees. Great weather, tremendous matchups. The winner of this game goes against Princeton on Monday. You can see it at 10:55. That's the start time on ESPN. Ryan Powell gets the face-off. Coming in on Reese. Push back, goes out front. This will be a shot for Jackson. He's got it. It took him about 14 seconds to get the first goal of the second half, 9-8.
Ryan Powell taking the face-off, finding Jackson. Take a look at it. Jackson likes to lean in with that right hand. He's quick. He's got the quick change of direction, tough to cover. Keenan can't pick it up. Big goal for Syracuse. Get on the board right away. Keep Keenan cold, and he's certainly cold right now with only 1 save. Took 14 seconds for that goal.
You know, this is the kind of team you don't want to give a reason to get fired up, and maybe Roy Simmons has found a rallying point for this team. Not that they need one, but the hits on Casey Powell, who picks up this ball from the wing. Powell coming in against Reese. Powell going to the goal, still has control of the ball. Now double team. The foul will be called as he still has the ball. Casey Powell now off by himself. He's a little bit tired, gets out front. Carcaterra takes a left-handed shot with no angle. By the time Powell got to the goal and lost his defenseman, Quentin, I think he had no gas left.
No, he's been running quite a bit on those wings of the face-offs, and on that last play you could see he was a little gassed. Take a look at it. We'll see what the call is. Looks like he got him up around the chin area there.
Then pushed, then hit the head.
Lapel whacked him. I hate to see his arms after this game. He is just getting abused. And Syracuse will have yet another extra man, their 6th of the day.
3 for 5, so this is really a gamble for Maryland as they continue their physical style of play. That's the way they like to do it. Syracuse working against the man-down unit. Oh, they almost throw it away. Jackson pulls it in. This is Cavavit. They go into a little bit of a rotation. Casey Powell out to Carcaterra. Cavavit can't beat Keenan. Big save there. Ball's loose. In front, and it goes wide. That was a gimme. That was a slam dunk that went to the left. How can you miss that one? It was only about 5 yards in front of the cage.
Keenan made his best save on the initial shot by Cavavit. Sneaking around the cage right-handed. Keenan held his ground.
Here's the Roadrunner. Miller, great speed, just goes through everybody. Team's even strength. Braden picks up the loose ball, but pretty effective clear when you got the speed of a Miller. So they dodged a bullet there. The ball was loose, and then the last shot, after a good save by Keenan, went wide. Syracuse gets the first goal of the second half, but things are calmed down now. Still a 1-goal lead for Maryland as Raiden gets the offense going. First offensive set for the Maryland Terrapins in the second half.
It'll be interesting to see if Syracuse has made any changes defensively as far as matchups and as far as their strategy. You wonder how long they're going to sit back and just play it straight. They've given up a lot of goals. I think they've got to help start sliding a little more aggressively against some of these midfielders.
Of course, Maryland likes that because they can take advantage of it. They've got people in the right position. They're spread out the field enough that you've got to make a pretty long slide to be effective. Game's pretty close. Quint maybe Roy, is counting on the transition just from the face-off in the open field. Hochstadt takes the hard shot. Playing against Volan. Whipple bringing it in behind the field of play. McCartan can't get it. Hochstadt chases it to the back line, and it will be Maryland ball. Volan matches up against Hochstadt. Hochstadt moving in, looking at the dump ball. He does. Evans, big shot up from out front, doesn't want to take it. Pasqualina waiting up top. Evans in close. And he's got it, just snuck it in the seam to Gebhardt's left. I thought he had no angle on that side of him, but he found one. Pull off. Big shot from out front by Hochstadt. Whipple reloads, gives it over to Hahn. Plenty of talent out there on the offensive end of the field for Maryland. A lot of shooters. This is basically their extra man team.
Syracuse looks to be playing a zone defense right now.
Manna. Off to Hillgardner.
I've never seen Syracuse play a zone defense. This is definitely a zone defense. This is a first.
They put the one short stick coming behind, and they're playing the long poles out front. Zone defense, very tricky to play when you don't put a lot of time into it. Now, not to say that they have, we don't know if they have or not, but you're right, not something you're used to seeing.
I've never seen. I think they're doing it because they can't match up with the quickness of the Maryland midfielders. I think Raiden, Evans, Zeller, they've got matchup problems, and so now they've got to sit back and play zone. Unfortunately, it's tough to play zone when you're trailing by 3 goals down. What do you do? Forfeit time of possession.
Right, you're not really going to have to challenge the ball. They can sit on all day long. Dickey Dell wouldn't mind keeping this 11-8 score right down to the wire. They roll around to Hahn, who really gets collapsed on as you would in a zone. That's one nice thing about the zone. You get it inside, you're really creamed by 2 and 3 and 4 players. Big hit by Whipple and company on the far side. They get the ball back. Hillgardner and Whipple just double team Ryan Powell. Hahn takes it. Hanna, now they'll just reset.
Exactly. They'll reset. They'll get to kill at least another minute or two. We've got a flag against Syracuse. Looks like they've got too many men. They've got 7 defenders in there right now.
And they still can't get the ball.
That'll help the zone when you got 7 guys.
Didn't help it enough. Here comes Maryland with another score. Zeller, the good-looking freshman, came flying down. A little bit of confusion with those 7 players in their queue. His 3rd goal of the day. This kid having the game of his life. And Dickie Dell loves it. 12-8, a 4-goal lead, and a rattled defense for Syracuse.
Yeah, they are rattled. And after that goal, they did not bring it together and talk about that goal as a group. But here it is. Zeller on the right-handed sweep, beating Gebhard low. Maryland, though, generating that second chance opportunity with some tough riding at the midfield line. They got the turnover, capitalizing on all the Syracuse mistakes.
Burns gets it out to Casey Powell, who can't pick it up. But here comes a possible transition. Penalty flag. Casey Powell again. Watch the sideline for Syracuse, because I bet they don't like this. Powell was nailed again, this time by Osberg. Roy Simmons talked about the sidelines applauding the hits. No applause this time. Big hit there up to the face of Ryan Powell by Osberg, and that'll be the penalty call.
Yeah, Simmons staring down the sideline. Here it is again, Osberg, number 31. The initial hit's good, and then I think he rides him up under the chin.
Well, Casey Powell has taken a lot of hits.
7th penalty against Maryland.
3 for 6 on the extra man.
Yet they lead by 4.
They could really help their calls right here by stinging another one. They don't miss too many shots when they get it on cage. They are hurting Maryland. They just haven't had many shots. 2 big fakes. Oh, and Ryan Powell, 3 fakes. Plenty of time on that man down. Too many fakes for the coach of the defense, but he gets it by Keenan.
2nd goal of the afternoon for Ryan Powell. 4th extra man goal. You can see how comfortable Ryan Powell is in front of the cage. Former attackman. Here it is. He'll cut down the seam of the defense. Fake 1, fake 2, fake 3. Lures Keenan out of the cage and just puts it over the head of about 5'7" goaltender. Here it is again. 1 fake, 2 fakes, 3 fakes. A lot of watching by the Maryland defense.
Maryland defense all thought he was going to take the first shot, second shot, third shot. Nobody came to help out. 12-9. They get one back. It's a 3-goal game as Maryland gets the face-off. Burnham pulls it up, gets it over to Laney, who can't control. Laney gets it back after he drops it. Timeout called by Maryland for possession purposes. They want to keep the ball. Laney was in trouble. And they burn a timeout with 7:47 left in the 3rd. They've got a 3-goal lead. Dickie Dell's got Syracuse on the ropes in the 3rd quarter. Back at Byrd Stadium, a record crowd here to see the second semifinal game. It's Maryland with a 3-goal lead, 12-9. Syracuse scoring the last goal. Ryan Powell on extra man. 3 of their last 4 goals have been on extra man. Maryland has controlled the ball, and Syracuse really needs to take advantage of opportunities for shots, and they have on the extra man. But they've got to figure out how to get that defense a little more active against the patient and talented offense of Maryland.
Maryland's got 12 goals, and we still have about 22 minutes to play. So it's got to start in the cage and on defense for Syracuse. Let's make some plays. Let's not let Maryland get so many great looks at the cage.
Whipple now controls. They'll bring the ball up against McCartan. Cummings out front there, short stick defender. Cummings on Raiden. Raiden working out front. He's got the right-handed shot. Cummings out of position here, and a big stop by Gebhard. Looks for the outlet. Looks down the right to Ackerman. Didn't get it now. Gives it up, and here they come. Alexander pushing it down. Maryland gets back very quickly, though. Shuts down the fast break. Kavovit. Laney working Kavovit, not letting him get settled.
Carcaterra has been a no-show so far this afternoon. No shots. He's got 25 goals coming in. Kavovit has had a decent game. Powell's had a decent game. But the 3rd member of that Orange Crush unit that we profiled earlier in the show really hasn't taken a shot.
That's a great point, and I think if they're going to win this game, he has to step up. He was really one of the reasons they beat Loyola to get here. He had 4 goals in that game, I believe, and a big showing from out in the midfield. One of the reasons that Maryland obviously is giving a lot of attention. Vanderpool just a little bit high.
Carcaterra's been the hot guy. He's had 12 goals in the last 3 games.
Which is most of his production for this year.
That's half of his season production in the last 3 games.
Kavovit driving to his left. A little bit of room as Laney locks him up. Vanderpool, the far side, takes the left-handed, a bit of bounce off Keenan's feet. Good save by Keenan. Maryland pushes it all over the field, goes out of bounds. It'll be off of Maryland. Jason Carrier pushed it out.
Nice save by Keenan. He's had 2 big saves here in the second half. He only had 1 save in the first half. You can see his stick. He's got the Maryland flag dyed onto the plastic of his stick. Kind of a neat little wrinkle.
Came up big the last time they took a shot. Got a little piece of it with his feet. Nice block for him. Syracuse now brings the ball in. Matt Doyle, talented player that they can sure use right now to get some shots off. Shot in close, and it'll be a goal, yes. Kavovit, the guy who really has put up numbers the last 2 years with Powell being the focus of all the defenses. This talented player has really led the NCAA in tournament play. 12-10 now the score.
And Doyle gets the assist. Jackson on the bench right now. This is Matt Doyle operating behind the cage. He was a second-team All-American in 1992. He's had major knee problems. Here he is with the feed, though. He's a talented player. He's just had knee problems. You can see he's got the wrap on his right knee, but he finds Kavovit in front. A lot of control. Kavovit is so poised in front of the net with a big fake. Lays it into the empty net.
Great vision. Here they get the face-off. This is big for Syracuse. All the way across to Kavovit again. He's got room. Lamey just blocks him out. What a wingspan on Lamey. 6'5". He's huge. Kavovit gets it back to Powell. Here's the matchup. Our Nike face-to-face. LaChapelle on Powell. Comes in, goes back. He's got a man wide open. Gives it in to Kavovit. He can't get the play off. Another foul called on Powell. I think the appeal was made. And he's getting some special looks by the refs.
Yeah, Coach Simmons must have said something to the officials at halftime, because anytime Casey Powell is touched above the shoulders, the flags are flying. Casey Powell right there drawing a lot of attention, really keeping Syracuse in this game by his ability to draw those penalties. Here it is.
Casey Powell, very unselfish. He gets all that attention. He's not pushing for goals. Last game, as a matter of fact, he had no goals in that first game. He had 8 assists against Loyola. Got a lot of attention and gave up the ball so that his team would win.
8 penalties now called against Maryland.
Ryan Powell gets into the middle. Great backup. Another shot by Jackson. And he finds the net. Rope for Jackson, 12-11, a 1-goal game.
Nice backup of the initial shot by Kavovit. Actually caught it behind the cage. Put it right back in front to Jackson. That was like a pinball machine in there. That's the 4th extra man goal for Syracuse. That's the 3rd for Jackson. Here it is. Kavovit catches the shot right back to Jackson. Keenan turning back and forth and back and forth. Watch it. Here it is. 36 goals on the season for Jackson.
Extra man plays really helping Syracuse, and right away it's Hochstead coming down the fast break. Great play by Haggerty to get the fast break rolling off of the face-off, and Hochstead just rips rope from about 10 yards to the right. A 2-goal lead now for Maryland.
Big goal right there, because Syracuse is on a 3-goal run. Credit Haggerty with an aggressive style on the face-off. He pops it forward. A lot of times when teams go on runs like that, as a face-off play, you don't want to pop it. You don't want to risk losing that face-off to give them that 4-goal run. But he had a lot of aggression there. Haggerty steps up, pops it in front, scoops it up himself. It's a gutsy play. Haggerty was an excellent high school wrestler on Long Island.
Only took 6 seconds to get that one off. Haggerty, watched him last week against Virginia, has a big underneath move. He'll push the ball underneath the other guy's stick and then work it accordingly. Ball goes back to Syracuse now. Maryland answering the Syracuse goal gives them another 2-goal lead. 4 minutes left in change in the 3rd quarter. Syracuse having trouble getting the clear up. They can't get out. Here comes Hahn. He's got Whipple in front. Whipple redirects. And a great save by Gebhardt. Mark that on your tapes at home, folks, because that could be the save of the game. Syracuse fast break the other way. Casey Powell can't pick up the bad feed from Alexander. LaChapelle gets wrapped up, and he can't get rid of it fast enough. It'll be a penalty, Casey Powell against LaChapelle this time. How about that for changing fortunes? Start with the sensational save of Jason Gebhardt. And then the blown opportunity down here. Alexander couldn't get the right-handed feed over to Powell.
Here's the save. Whipple firing the low shot. Gebhardt gets back in the cage, makes the save. Sloppy play, but it certainly was entertaining. We went coast to coast. There it is again. Gebhardt getting back in the cage, making that save, then outletting. Alexander had the fast break and threw an errant bounce pass across the front.
He had a tough time. I think he wanted a right-hand feed. He turned his body back, had a tough time getting the right hand back to...
That's a tough pass when you're running full speed straight down the field to kind of turn and make that pass in the 90-degree angle.
He buried it, and then Powell trying to get it back, fouled LaChapelle. Maryland, though, 0 for 3 on their extra man opportunities. So the extra man play right now could be the factor in the game when it's all said and done. Syracuse taking full advantage of theirs. Maryland so far not getting any goals when they have the man advantage.
This game certainly more high scoring than we anticipated. 13-11, still got about 18 minutes to play.
Syracuse just made a substitution.
Well, they put Casey Powell in the box. The foul was against Powell. The refs really didn't say, hey, number 22, Casey Powell, have a seat in the box. So Casey stayed on the field. Maryland appealed to the referee, say, hey, the penalty's on 22. Please sit him down. They ironed it out, and Casey's now in the box.
So here's the Maryland offense against a defense that's been getting a lot of work this year. Maryland not able to hurt them. Evans over to Hockstead. Inside is Hahn. Hahn tries to get it off and just goes wide. Big check there by Saccharin.
Nice catch by Hahn. Saccharin got a full check on his stick. Hahn's a strong kid.
Hillgartner now working inside with Hahn. Teams are all even now. Penalty over. Back up to Hahn, but it's blocked down again by Saccharin. He's really got the read on Hahn now. Gebhardt picks it up and they go for the release. Maryland 0 for 4 on their extra mans. Could be a factor if Syracuse can get back in this. They're 2 goals down right now. Alexander brings it over. We've got 2:50 left in the third. Doyle. Back to Jackson. Landy really laying it on Jackson. Carcaterra now comes on. Casey Powell on the field, but LaChapelle well within range of him. Fresh line, they got all the numbers on they want. Ryan Powell out in front, takes a big move and blocked by Keenan.
That ball took a funny hop. Wasn't the fastest shot, but sometimes those slow ones will hit a clump of grass. Keenan stayed with it and got his stick there at the last second.
LaChapelle trying to make a big check on Casey Powell. This one blocked by Keenan, but Powell backs it up. Here's the matchup. Powell, LaChapelle. Double coming in, but the ball gets in front, and it was a wide open shot. They couldn't finish. That backed up by Keenan.
Did you see that feed by Casey Powell behind the back? Oh, that was a sick pass. Watch this.
Powell's hurt. Powell has got a cramp in his foot.
Watch this pass right here in the replay. Beautiful pass in front to Doyle. And he's got to finish. He's got to finish that in a game like this, down by 2 goals.
He didn't have to be that clean with it. All he had a whole 36 square feet muscle locking up on Casey Powell, his calf. Hot day out there. This guy's been working hard, running hard, and it's that water loss.
Here it is again. In an effort to chase down that shot, Powell lays out. Maryland will get the ball there, but Powell
got a cramp in his right leg.
He got a cramp in his calf.
Again,
as we mentioned earlier, these Syracuse players coming from Central New York, it has not been a warm spring up there. Coach Simmons yesterday said, hey, I don't know if we have the midfield depth to play in 85-degree temperatures. It's only been about 45 to 50 degrees up in Syracuse.
Don't forget ESPN's Sunday Night Baseball Game of the Week. This Sunday, May 25th, 8 o'clock start time, East Coast time, at Yankee Stadium, New York. We're going to have the Boston Red Sox against the New York Yankees, the defending world champs. Great game to watch on ESPN Sunday Night Baseball. Don't miss this battle between the two longtime American League East rivals on ESPN. Right now, we've got semifinal action for Division I lacrosse from Byrd Stadium in College Park. That's Casey Powell, everybody's first-team All-American on attack, Player of the Year candidate. Number 22, wearing the famous number, made famous by Gary Gait. Then Charlie Lockwood followed him as an All-American. That number has been an All-American for about 10 years.
Casey Powell, 4 shots, 2 goals, has not taken a shot in the second half. Drawing a lot of attention, drawing a lot of fouls. Certainly looks to be more of a distributor, I think, from here on in. I don't think Maryland's going to let Casey Powell win this game. He's going to have to give it up to guys like Kavovit, Carcaterra, Doyle, and Jackson.
You know what strikes me, though, is that Syracuse really has their best chances on extra man, and I think Casey Powell can draw fouls. If you give him the ball and then go through people, more often than not, he's going to take a stick check to the head. I wouldn't mind if I was Simmons, let him go for a while out there and take some fouls. When he goes through people, it's hard to get the ball. Raiden now with possession. Maryland with a 2-goal lead. 1:28 left in the third quarter. This game tied 4-4 in the third quarter. Started 9-7 at the end of the first half. Hildgardner very calm and controlled. You got Whipple controlling behind the goal and Hildgardner out in front. Zeller can't get it. The young kid can't pick it up, and now Syracuse will try to get something going. Hahn comes up to get the ball back.
That's a great example of Matt Hahn. People say he's just a finisher. He's not. He's a crease attackman, and he roams 40 yards up to the midfield line to get that ground ball. It's a sensational play.
Please report to the rear of section 14.
He does a lot more than just finish.
To the rear of section 14, please. Thank you.
Syracuse now brings the ball back in. They've got plenty of time left to get a shot off. Cummings tries to get one off, can't do it. 30 seconds left in the third quarter. Here comes Reese. Looks upfield. Has players in front of him. Keone knocks it away. Gebhardt comes out of the goal. Keone takes it. Now he's off to the races. Keone looks for help. Maryland ragging him. Here comes Raiden.
Cummings is down. If you remember, what started that play was Ryan Cummings took a shot and dove forward and got crunched. You see he's got his knee wrapped up with a leg brace. He stayed down throughout that entire play.
Left knee, obviously, heavily wrapped. The numbers on Syracuse hard to read, Quinn. We have a tough time up here, but that's 7. The font on there makes it look like a 1, but it's really
Cummings.
It's Cummings, number 7, and a lot of folks at home, including us, sometimes make that a 1, but that is actually Ryan Cummings down, number 7.
Transfer from Hopkins, actually. Really has found a role on the Syracuse team as the short stick defensive specialist. Dangerous in transition.
Obviously, his injured knee looks to be re-injured.
He got landed on. He dove straight at the cage trying to shoot, and a bunch of Maryland players just landed on him. And I think it's more of a contact thing than a twist.
So Ryan Cummings doesn't look good for the rest of the game. Hopefully he will not have something serious to that often injured left knee. Well, the winner of this game will take on the Princeton Tigers in the NCAA Division I Lacrosse Championship. It's Monday, and folks, it starts, the face-off's at 11, but our show starts at 10:55. You got to see what Q and I have to say about this big matchup. It'll be Princeton against this winner, 10:55 on air start time, and that's on ESPN. A lot of action yet to go here, though, from Maryland as they have a 2-goal lead. They've maintained that. Each team has scored 4 times in this third quarter. Maryland controlling the tempo of the game. 8 seconds left as Jackson drives it in against LaChapelle. They put the big guy on Jackson. 3, 2, 1. That'll be it. Time winds down the third quarter. Time running out on the Syracuse Orangemen. Maryland using the home field advantage here and their unseeded underdog attitude to keep that 2-goal lead. 15 minutes left to find out who plays Princeton in the final. You're looking at Byrd Stadium. A fantastic day, perfect weather for semifinal action. A record crowd here at Byrd. Beautiful new stadium at Maryland. They have done a great job of building this facility up, and Maryland enjoying the home field advantage with a 2-goal lead over Syracuse. They have controlled the game. They have won the face-off battle 14-11. This would be 15 if they can control it here. Let's take a look at the numbers from the third quarter.
Look at the shots. Maryland controlling the tempo, generating more shots, ground balls. Again, Maryland with a lot of hustle and face-offs. Slight advantage for the Terps, 14-11. Teams traded goals in that third quarter. Keenan stepped up a bit after a very quiet first half. We've got a holding violation on Burns for Syracuse.
Burns, the young kid who faces off the freshman for Syracuse. They are getting a little bit panicky out there in the face-off circle. They're down by 2. Plenty of time left. And now here is the Maryland extra man who's been absolutely anemic against this man down. They're 0 for 4. A team that has done well everywhere else has not really gotten it going here in the extra man. Big shot out front. Didn't take long this time. Bill Rule just rockets a shot from up top. And Rule comes on to the extra man unit. Doesn't waste any time. Burning Gebhardt high. 3-goal lead for Maryland.
Big goal. Big crank shot. Coach Adele's fired up. Bill Rule has been sitting on the bench all day. An extra man specialist. He comes on, lets it rip. A lot of interference in front of that. Here it is again. Hannah to Rule. They've got excellent shots up top. High to high. It's got to feel good. Only his 4th goal of the year, but a huge goal.
Got to feel great for that kid. Haggerty gets the face-off back to Keenan. And they're getting ragged by Casey Powell. Casey Powell put a lot of pressure. Big check. Gets it out of LaChapelle's stick. And now they get a fast break going. Ball coming in. Keenan's the only man in front of this ball. They can't get the shot. Finally, Kavovit puts it away. That all started with Casey Powell's big check on LaChapelle. The tables were turned. He was the hunter. LaChapelle the hunted. And Powell put the ball on the turf.
And Kavovit's got a hat trick. Here it is. Watch the check. LaChapelle trying to handle. Casey Powell gets the butt end of his stick right around the handle of the bottom hand, and Syracuse is off in transition. That's only their 2nd transition goal of the day. Kavovit with about 20 fakes. Poor Sean Keenan there. Left hung out to dry. Kavovit's got a hat trick, but again, the athleticism of Casey Powell creating that play.
Makes it a 2-goal game, 14-12. Keenan comes out of the goal, but Quinn, he's forgetting the last part of that. Don't you have to hit the man when you come out that far? Tough play for Keenan. He was left high and dry.
You've either got to make the play or stay in the cage.
Loose ball push against Maryland, and Syracuse will get it back. This one not over by any stretch of the imagination. We have a long way to go in the 4th quarter before it's over. Kataya brings it in. We haven't heard from Carcaterra yet. He's a guy who's full of goals the last few games. Kavovit 3 goals, 3 assists on the day so far. Ryan Powell moving inside, tries to get a shot, double team, triple team, and the ball is down on the floor by Lamey. Lamey gets it on the carpet, picks it off the grass, and goes back inside. Look at Jackson giving him the big hit.
Oh, gosh, Jackson was peppering Lamey's back elbow.
Ball comes down, though, but still, Hahn picks it up and gets control from Maryland. They've got numbers. Back door. Shot in a backside net. No goal. Here comes Syracuse. Can they get it going? Ryan Powell. They like this. Field spread. A lot of white jerseys. Casey Powell down to his brother. Backside. Jackson. Oh, what a save by Keenan. Keenan dove in front of the crease and made the save. Any one of 3 players could have taken that shot. They might have made 1 too many passes, but let's give Keenan credit. What a sensational diving save.
Stayed with it the whole way. That kind of tempo right there, that is not what Maryland wants. That is playing right into the hands of Syracuse.
But they did not get the goal, and Keenan comes up huge. Osberg blocking him up.
You'd think as these two teams would tire, that the transition opportunities would kind of open up. There'll be more mistakes here in the fourth quarter.
Jackson tries to take one right-handed, not much angle. LaChapelle on him. Benani, defense is behind. Powell tries to work for the right-handed shot, forces it in, and again Keenan makes the big body block. In the crease violation will send the ball back to Maryland. Not great shot selection for Syracuse. It doesn't seem they got great shooters, but they're not taking the best shots. Watch Keenan.
And there's Benani again, flying through the screen. Here it is. Look at Benani. Just comes across the crease.
Taking out bodies.
He's like a linebacker stepping in the hole to tackle a tailback.
Big-time hitter. Big-time hitter. But how about Shorty? They call him Shorty. Keenan in the goal. Filling the shoes of Doherty. Quinn plays with Doherty on his club team right now. And you know that guy can be pretty intimidating and tough for Sean Keenan to fill his shoes.
Well, after a shaky first half, Keenan looks sharp here in the second half.
2 great saves in that last series. Maryland getting up the far side. Gebhardt blocks it. Loses track of where it is. Ground ball awards have been won a lot by Maryland. Now the ball comes up. They try to pull it down. Kataya can't get it. Maryland again trying to get control. They will. LaChapelle stays down there after getting control. Give it to Hogsted.
They'll pull it out here and settle. Yeah, that last little helter-skelter on that last possession. Certainly want to maintain the tempo, the Maryland slow-down tempo.
Well, you've got 10 minutes left, about 11 minutes left exactly now, and a 2-goal lead. You would think Maryland would really hold on to it, but here comes Evans. 2 fake, 3 backside. Evans makes it a 3-goal lead. Just when you thought they'd go into a little bit of a holding pattern, Evans rams it down Gebhardt's throat.
Second goal of the day for Evans. He had a great year last year. His numbers are down this year, though. But you know he's a time bomb waiting to explode. Look at the change of direction. 2 players can't cover him. 3 players can't cover him. And he just takes it right to the top of the crease. Look at this. He stops, and the Syracuse flow just flows right by him. He turns back.
And when he got Gebhardt in the air, then he just calmly dips it behind him. Both unassisted goals for Evans. Huge goals after the Keenan saves. Burns comes up with the face-off. Time winding down on Syracuse. They've got to start keeping this one close. And you go back, folks, mark the tape where Keenan made those 2 big saves to maintain a 2-goal lead. Then Maryland scores to give him a 3-goal cushion. That could have been the difference of the fourth quarter play.
It could have been 14-13. Instead, it's 15-12.
Big man Dickie Dell talked about that all week. He needed a better game than Keenan gave him out of the Virginia game. And I think he's gotten it. A lot of time left, though. Syracuse, great pedigree of this offensive team. 3 goals down. They need to take advantage of these opportunities. Doyle working behind against the short stick of Miller. Double team, here it comes. LaChapelle tries to get him. He gets the ball out of Doyle's stick. Vanderpool tries to go through 3 players, can't do it. Look at the Maryland team. All players doubling and tripling. They dished it down, but up comes Gebhardt. And now they bring the ball down and try to get another shot. Keone inside. Keone takes it, and another little chip save. Looked like Keenan got a piece of that.
Yeah, I think he got a piece of that either with the rim of his stick up by the top of it or by a knee or a foot. Maryland's defense, we talked about Duke's defense earlier, how physical they are, but Maryland's defense, extremely physical
and big.
When the ball is on the ground, they are swinging the lumber.
Here comes Casey Powell behind the back and just finds the backside on Keenan. Tremendous shot by Powell. LaChapelle had him locked up for the right-handed shot. He wraps it around the back, making it a 2-goal game. Plenty of time left, 15-13.
Hat trick for Casey Powell. Doesn't get any better than this. Far side, he actually increases his angle by shooting this behind the back. But look at the velocity on that shot. To the off-stick side and low. Here it is again. That is unbelievable. That is a sick player right there.
And that's what he practiced when he was a young kid, watching Gary Gait wear number 2 and do those kind of moves. Gary Gait still the all-time goal-scoring leader in NCAA competition. He watched Gary Gait do that. He wanted to be that kind of player, and he is.
He plays with the confidence that Gary Gait played with. Not many players are going to make that behind-the-back shot in a game of this magnitude. You miss that, people will be second-guessing you for the rest of your life. And then he steps up and makes it.
And not many programs give you the green light for that. And of course, Roy Simmons does. He says the more, the merrier. He knows he has confidence in the quality of athlete and the kind of flamboyant style that they have. We'll take a short break. They're cooling down Casey Powell, but he is red hot, and so is Syracuse. They're down by 2 to Maryland. We're back at Byrd Stadium. The Maryland fans are on their feet. Maryland be the best. That's taken from the 70s, but this is the 90s version. Dickie Dell playing defense against the best. Casey Powell wrapping around the back, and Quint, no way as a goalie you can prepare for that.
It's all deception, location, and speed. You know, guys used to take behind-the-back shots late 80s, early 90s, but that thing was moving to an awesome location in the offside low corner.
Now here's Maryland taking some air out of the ball. Less than 9 minutes to go, 2-goal lead. You're going to see a little bit of patience here. Evans, last time I said that, Evans went right to the cooker. Penalty now, flag down. Let's see if Hillgardner and company, Whipple has it now. They'll get a shot off. No question they'll go to the goal now. They've got the benefit of a penalty against Syracuse. Whipple. And close, watch out. And Gebhardt makes a nice save.
On Hahn, cutting through right-handed. Whipple and Hahn. Seems like that tandem, they just go back and forth. Whipple, Hahn, Hahn, Whipple.
Gebhardt looks a little bit worn out. Watch the look inside. Hahn comes across the crease and just redirects it inside. He is so tough to cover.
He always moves. He never stops moving his feet in there. He's tenacious. He wants the ball. He wants to score, and he's willing to work inside.
Gebhardt, a lot of pressure on him. 1 for 5, Maryland is on the extra man. Big opportunity here. Syracuse really has to tighten up because they can't get farther behind. Rule still is up top, number 4. He had the last goal. In fact, he had the only goal in the extra man. Rule came off the bench to spark this unit. Hockstad back in order, working the top. Whipple's behind.
They got their 3 best shooters up top and their best feeder behind. That's Whipple right there with the ball.
With Hillgardner and Hahn in the middle. Big shot by Hanna. That one came off of some body part. The defense of Syracuse. Staffarelli was in the way. Teams are all even right now. Maryland doesn't really matter to them as long as they keep possession. They want to keep the ball with 7:50 left, 2-goal lead. Same formula they used to beat and shock the University of Virginia team. Evans had a move, got his defender flat on the ground, and now he doesn't know where he's going. Evans comes in, 2 fakes, and great save by Gebhardt. Trying to get the outlet, they can't bring it down. The nailing hit. Still, here comes Syracuse.
That's another mark your tape save right there. Maryland could have been up by 3. Gebhardt with a serious save. Evans faked him one too many times. He faked him and he had him, and then he went back to where Gebhardt was. You want to fake and put it away, or fake, 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 put it away. But don't fake, fake, put it away.
If you're a good coach, you want to say, you want to score.
You
Give me the net. Here comes Casey Powell pushing in against the defense. He is pushed down to the ground. He'll get a penalty. And again, Quinn, I think if you send him against
every time,
he's going to get a penalty. He's going to draw a penalty, and this team is lethal on their extra man. This may be the way for them to get back into the game.
Watch this Gebhardt save. Unbelievable save against Evans, running circles around the Syracuse defense. Alexander can't stay with him. No one helps him out. Evans with a dip and dunk. And watch Casey Powell on the other end. LaChapelle playing a man-to-man. He'll draw the holder to push. Seems like every time Powell goes down, the yellows, the hankies come out. And
it's so tough to get the ball away from.
Penalty against Maryland.
5 for 8 Syracuse is, so you know right now Keenan's thinking, I'm going to be looking at some kind of shot coming. Powell up front. Tries to get it in close to Carcaterra. Big check, takes the ball back down. Keenan out of the goal. Finally gets it up, and here they come. Maryland pushing it down. Looking for a shot at late, and he beats Gebhardt. That could be the one that puts it away. Reese comes down. and makes the big shot. This guy's got 3 goals, 3 assists on the season. That's his 4th goal from the defensive midfield spot.
Started with the defense. Carcaterra couldn't can the shot. Keenan comes out, makes a nice handle. An excellent play, nothing fancy, passes it to his teammate, and they don't pick up Reese. Here it is, right there. Shorty Keenan scampering out of the nest. And here comes Reese.
Nobody picks him up. They didn't come all the way in. Gebhardt looking maybe for the feed and doesn't get it. One more look.
Watch the nice fake he gives him, too. Most long sticks just come in and fire it right there, but he fakes them. Most guys with those long sticks don't have the stick control that a guy like Brian Reese does, but he got Gebhardt to guess and then popped it in the open net. He's got a goal and an assist.
3-goal lead with under 7 minutes to go from Maryland. Here comes Syracuse. Vanderpool takes a shot, and he rips it past Keenan. And Quint, this is the kind of shot, this is why Keenan, you know, they try to push it into Carcaterra. I don't think you have to do that with Keenan, not that experience. Rip the shots from the outside. They've got great accuracy. Don't make it such a tight shot inside.
And there's going to be another penalty against Maryland.
And a goal, 16-14. So a 3-goal lead just moments ago, now a 2-goal lead, and soon could be just a 1-goal lead for Maryland.
Vanderpool had a good game against Loyola. Had 2 goals last week. It's his 13th goal of the season.
High and hard.
He's got the talent. He's just got to put himself in that position to get his shot off. Excellent shooter. And a big goal. Syracuse won't go away.
They were 3 goals down just seconds ago. That play could be a 2-goal swing. Syracuse reloads their extra man. They were scored on shorthanded moments ago by Reese. Casey Powell behind now in this set. It's a 1-4-1. 2 guys on the crease as they rotate out, and there's a shot by Carcaterra. Not a high percentage shot. Carcaterra way out of the goal, Quint, and really kept it low and hard, giving the shorty Keenan an easy save. You know, Keenan lives down there, and that was not a tough save for him.
Yeah, you got to go low to high on that one, elevate him. But Carcaterra, maybe a little frustrated. He hasn't been a part of the action.
That seemed to be what that kind of shot was all about. Extra man, you don't need to take a shot against a defenseman that far away. Syracuse again will reload. They're sputtering here on extra man, 5 for 9 on their extra man, but they haven't looked great the last 2 sets. Kavovit now behind. Jackson on the right-handed shooter. That's Carcaterra up top. Bataya, back door, Kavovit, smart Kavovit, fakes high, goes low. He is so cagey, such a smart shooter, makes it a 1-goal game, 16-15.
And he has got 4 goals and 4 assists. We talked about him earlier. He plays his best games right here on this field.
He's a championship caliber player. He always steps up.
Watch him sneaking in on the backside, catch fake, money in the bank from close range. Syracuse now only down by a goal. Maryland's penalties are keeping Syracuse in the game. They have 6 extra man goals.
Roy Simmons feeling good now that his team is within 1. 5:40 left. Big time face-off picked up on the far side. The penalty called against Syracuse. Ball put on the grass, and Casey Powell can't believe it. Powell was chasing the play.
It's going to be a holding violation.
Desco doesn't like it. The assistant coach with Roy Simmons. Edell's looking to see what kind of situation he'll have. It's Casey Powell chasing, and on Hahn, they say a push call. Well, Hahn was rotating back, and that was what Simmons and Desco were talking about.
Oh, he turned.
Push.
He turned. He turned. You know, once the refs start throwing flags, it's usually like things, they start throwing it for everything. So, you know, it's either all or nothing. The first game was relatively flag-free. This game, we've seen maybe 15 to 20 penalties.
And, of course, the big hits early on, I think, and then, of course, the coaches talking to the refs made these guys take another look at these penalties. Maryland 1 for 6 in the EMO. 16-15 the score now. And Rule is back in as Maryland resets. They have the 1 shot, the 1 goal by Rule on these extra man opportunities. Syracuse has been very effective in this man down. To give Gebhardt a chance, he's been making the saves.
Hocksted's going to have the shot on the far side. They're putting a lot of attention on Hannah.
Hilgardner, he's got rope.
ball movement by Maryland. You can see Syracuse was favoring Rule and Hanna. I thought Hockstead would have the shot, but it was Hilgartner on the right side, caught it, shifted towards the middle, had time and room from 10 yards.
Watch him take a step in. He takes his time, and even takes up another 6 feet.
Exactly. Step, step, step. Improve your angle. You step up and you let it fire. Squares his shoulders towards the cage. Perfect motion. Perfect fundamentals right there. He makes it happen. Huge goal. They're up by 2 again.
Here comes Burns. Fast break. Jackson takes a shot, and Keenan makes another big save. He will be a big part of this win if Maryland can get out of here with a W. Syracuse riding hard. Here comes a loose ball. Again, it's Kavovit. Kavovit driving down against Bonani. Rolls against 3 players. Jackson again. Syracuse had a great chance to get a shot off, and Maryland got back in position. Good composure by the Syracuse offense. 4:30 left, and there they go. Easy shot, and a goal by Syracuse. It doesn't take long when they line up the shots. Boy, they really took composure on the fast break, came back, set up what they wanted, Quint, and knock home goal number 16. We've got 33 goals in this game so far.
And who would have guessed it? We thought that Maryland would try to control the ball, slow it down, keep it low scoring. And yet it's a run and gun 6-on-6 type game where there's just goal after goal after goal. Casey Powell sneaking in on the backside. He's got 4 goals, as does Kavovit.
I was watching the backside. I think I give it to Kavovit, but Casey Powell, tremendous day. Sneaky goal for him there. 18-15 in faceoffs in favor of Maryland. Big time faceoff coming here, and it looks like it'll go to the far side to Syracuse. They'll bring it down. Saccharin takes it from the wing. Going to be a timeout called by Syracuse. They're only down by 1, Quint. 4:20 left. Set up your play. They can tie it on this possession. Simmons, Desko, what a combination those two have been in the coaching ranks. Desko, the assistant coach to Roy Simmons, has really helped this program be successful.
You know, one thing you mentioned earlier, Leaf, Casey Powell has shown the ability to draw penalties all day. I send him. I'll
give him the ball, and Maryland's a team that comes at you, and he can go through 2 and 3 guys, and you're probably going to get a foul. We talked to Casey Powell earlier about a close game and his thoughts.
Sometimes when it does come down to the last minute, you know, you want to be, I want to be up top or on the side, you know, somewhere where I can ISO, but it usually doesn't happen that way. You're usually somewhere where you don't want to be, and you have to do with that. But when it does come down to it, I want to be with the ball and a chance to draw a slide and try to pass the ball off, and if they don't slide, then to get the shot.
Here's the last goal by Casey Powell. They just feed it right in front. Boom. Redirects on Keenan.
Powell to Powell, an assist from his younger brother Ryan, who's got 3 assists. Casey's got 4 goals on 7 shots from Carthage, New York. And he's a super kid. You'll see him after this game. The kids will fly, the young lacrosse players will flock to him like he's the Pied Piper. He'll spend an hour with these kids signing balls, signing autographs. He's a terrific kid. He loves to give his stuff away. He gives his jerseys away. Coach Simmons can't keep supplying him enough gear. He's a generous kid, and young players love him. He's excellent with them.
Great role model and a hero, just what he wanted to be at Syracuse, now playing with his brother. He's been a marked man and standing up to all that kind of attention for this his 3rd year. 1 goal lead by Maryland. Carcaterra, we haven't heard from him yet. He takes that left-handed shot, but it bounces off of Lamey's face mask. Backed up by Ryan Powell. Powell's got a matchup against a short stick defender here. He's got Pasqualina playing defense. Looking for the draw and dunk. Casey Powell. This is our Nike matchup. Face-to-face. He gets inside, takes a little underhand shot. Good velocity on that, backed up by his brother. Didn't really have much of an angle, but he really kept it on the play in the goal. Kataya, far side, all by himself. No angle from this side, but he found something. Quint from up here, right-handed, looked like he had nothing to shoot at, but Ryan Powell makes it a 17-17 game.
He is stepping up. He's got a hat trick. Ryan Powell doing a lot of ball handling. He's got 3 assists and 3 goals. Here it is. The former attackman isolating against a short stick, comes in right-handed against the lefty, Keenan. Looked like Keenan had his stick in the right area. Here, take a closer look. Powell, right-handed, just beating Keenan on the near side.
Not much to shoot at. He really found a hole there.
He's come up with a spark of energy in the second half. Ryan Powell taking a little of the burden off of his brother.
Burns, the freshman, facing off the biggest face-off of his life, but Haggerty's the one that comes up with it. Vanderpool ragging him. Reese, the long stick in there for control, and the ball is controlled by Osberg and Maryland. Whipple takes it behind. Game tied at 17. 3 minutes left. Leif Elsmo and Quint Kesnick, our ESPN2 coverage of the semifinals for Division I lacrosse. Maryland, you saw a similar situation the first game where the game was tied and Princeton held it for 4 minutes, Quint. Can Maryland, I'm sure they'll try to do the same thing, take the last shot, win it, or send it to overtime. But don't give Syracuse a chance to win it in regulation. Zeller to Evans, who's had a good day. He's got some room here. Watch out. Rolls back to the left. Here's the double arm. He's got some space inside. It'll be all on Gebhardt. They take him behind. McCarthy came up clean. There's a shot to Hahn. And Hahn weeds through the middle and finishes left-handed.
Whipple to Hahn. That's the connection. Evans slicing through the defense really caused a lot of mayhem. Syracuse lost their matchups. Things opened up inside. Evans kicked it to Whipple behind the net, and that opens it up for Hahn. And Hahn, here it is. He slices through the double team, takes on the third man, gets it to Whipple, and Hahn. Whipple to Hahn, Whipple to Hahn. We've said that all day long.
That's the combination. Hahn, the great finisher, Whipple, the quarterback behind. A 1-goal lead for Maryland, 2:21 left. Burns, number 12, the freshman against Haggerty, number 26 for Maryland. Biggest face-off, and Haggerty comes up with 2 in a row. Just like he did against Virginia, Haggerty's coming up huge when he has to. LaChapelle. Reese has the ball. Now, Hillgartner with it, and they've got to lead. Do not need to shoot. You're going to put pressure on this defense to get the ball back.
They've got to keep it in the box now. We're less than 2 minutes to go. They must keep it in the offensive box. Look for Maryland just to try to run the clock out right here. Syracuse will step up and try to take the ball away.
Ackerman now will have to work on him. Hillgartner, senior co-captain, leader of this team, switching back, inverting to behind the goal. He'll just go for possession time. You see the clock winding down the game. Maryland with a 1-goal lead. An unseeded team trying to make it to the finals against the defending champions. Double team by Gebhardt. Gebhardt comes out. They throw it back. Now it's an open net. Gebhardt goes back. Maryland does not need to shoot. They just need to hold the ball. Here comes Gebhardt. Raiden gets double, but he keeps the ball. Great job by Raiden. And Whipple has the ball. Under a minute to go. Whipple gets double. The ball goes out of bounds. And it'll be Syracuse ball. 49 seconds left in the game. Syracuse has possession. Gebhardt doesn't waste any time getting it up to Casey Powell. Casey Powell with room. Here he comes against LaChapelle. Big fake up front. Casey Powell gets checked from behind. The ball is loose. Great defensive check by Maryland. And they take it back to Hahn. The double came and they got it from Powell. That might have been their last chance.
Reese made the play, number 34. Snuck up behind Powell.
And that'll probably do it. Syracuse with their last chance. It was in the hands of the big one. Here comes another shot. 12 seconds if they can pick it up. Is there any timeouts left? No, here they go. Kataya. He's got to come in. Time winding down. 5. He's got to hurry up and get a shot off. They won't do it. That'll be the game. Maryland stunned Syracuse with an 18-7 win. The unseeded Maryland Terrapins shocking the lacrosse world and end up in the finals. An emotional Dickie Dell can't believe it. His team will take on the defending champion Princeton Tigers. emotional after this big win. Here is the winning goal. It started with Evans.
It started with Evans drawing the double team, causing some mayhem in front. Hahn finds the seam, and Whipple finds Hahn. 2 weeks in a row, the game-winning goal scored by Hahn.
The NCAA Division I Lacrosse Championships are brought to you by new Slick 50 Synchron Fuel System Treatment, the 5,000-mile performer. Don't forget, we'll have the finals of Division I Lacrosse on Monday. 10:55 is our airtime, Eastern Time on ESPN. It'll be Maryland against Princeton. We will have the best in college lacrosse. Don't miss it. Quint and I will be back. This is Lee Felsman saying we'll see you on Monday. Stay tuned for ESPN News.